So I want to talk about smoking because now my beliefs in will is why I'm smoking right now because I've been smoking a couple years and I thought I'd be able to moderate it because I do have a strong will, especially about vices like this. You know, you could keep a minor or cut them cold turkey if you can't. Well, this one's hard and it has made me wake up to a way in which my will was more determinable by outside forces than I thought. And really, with tobacco, it's an interesting thing to talk about with the will because the way tobacco defied me, like, you know, to stop drinking or any number of other things and change your habits, I can do so much of that. But I have to want to change. But if I really want to, I can do it. But see, how this shows you just how unfree your will is you want to stop smoking, but it plays with your wants and it'll like use 10 or 20 minutes and but don't you want one more cigarette before you quit or whatever. This it does play with your will. But see, I didn't learn anything from that because I knew that was possible, but I didn't really think a substance could do that to me. I know that the social conventions, the way I was raised, the what I want from life, what kind of appreciation I want, social, political, interacting with other people, the way the economy works, all of these structures that I live within, those are the difficult ones. So I knew that there were things, you know, that my will was not strong enough to just like will its way through. Trickier. My will learned it's going to have to be clever. It was just that I didn't think that a substance could do that. Or, I mean, I knew, but I mean, it's the most addictive thing I've ever tried. So when I say that I can control things, it was also because, well, I don't go for the extreme versions. You know, I'm not trying to get heroin and moderate it, and this is kind of like that. But I'm not willing to think just because I have an example of something that came out of the blue to me that I should have known better, right? Because it was my biases about my controlling my will that made me think that I would be able to quit, um, even if I got hooked quicker than I have, because I still intend to quit. But eventually, but I don't think that means that I don't have free will all those other times. You know, I mean, because it's willpower. I mean, just because my will is not strong enough to overcome certain things, you know, for various reasons. Maybe my will isn't strong enough, or maybe my will is spending its energy elsewhere. Maybe if I put all of my energy to this one thing, I could accomplish it. So I don't think that, you know, that's going to discredit me. On the other hand, I do think that it is it's interesting for people that think they really have willpower. Then you should, you know, try to face some substance issue like cigarettes because that'll show you just how hard it can get. And maybe you'll admit that emotionally, just with other reasons, you know, your reaction to things is more determined and determinable than you may know. Now, it got into one thing that Charles Dance, maybe it was with, that, you know, it points out that really part of the skeptic approach to all this is that the less you know, the less determined you are. When you think you know, then you're determined. I know that a person that wears a red shirt is in an enemy gang and I will kill them. You know, then you are more impulsive in a determined way, right? Because you know, and knowing leads to more direct action and therefore more determined action, less choice. So, you know, the more you refrain from claiming to know, the more free your will is going to be, up to a limit where you have to consider something called material freedom. How materially free you are. Because if you take the easy route of freedom by having a free attitude, then you might be put into a slavery situation and not care because you feel free. So that's why you have to look into material freedom. And that's where we're really not free, is in material freedom. And that's where I would like to focus. And I would like the focus to be increasing that freedom in the material world for all people rather than there's no such thing as freedom anyway.